Audio is a really important subject when it comes to the entertainment industry. Many people think that audio just comes from speakers or that it was just magically recorded, but it also comes from way back in the days where we had to manually record audio and play it by physical hand. I will be going over the brief history of audio and the evolution and how it is used and processed in today's world and also recorded. Invented by Thomas Edison, in 1877, the phonograph was the first device capable of both recording and reproducing sound. It also used a cylinder that was covered in foil or wax, which used a stylus to scratch in the recordings from the vibrations, so then it could replay the sound. This also involved speaking into a big metal horn, which captured the sound waves. These sound waves would go to a stylus that would vibrate and then rub on and create grooves that recorded the sound in the foil or wax cylinder. As shown in this clip here, you can hear the phonograph, and the type of emotion that it brings out to me is a really old-fashioned, kind of like squeaky and really distorted because it was very early. But here is a clip. Then comes a new invention called the graphophone, which is kind of similar to the phonograph, except it allows longer recording and is easier to use to the public, and it records with a stylus on a disc. During playback, a stylus reads the recorded grooves, translating the vibrations back into audible sound. The amplification and output mechanisms are to ensure that the sound is loud enough and better for the listener to hear, especially better than the previous invention, the phonograph. In my opinion, evokes a really old-fashioned emotion, and the audio is really flat and also very, very grainy. So you do get like a old type of like a really weird like old feeling with this.
Hello. Mary had a little lamb, and the streets were white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went,
but it is also more audible
so
than
you
the previous
can come
one,
to Maker Faire,
than the
Detroit at the
previous
Henry Ford
phonograph.
and make your own recording.
This was
on
then
an
later
actual
improvised in
historic
the 1890s
Edison
by
phonograph.
transforming the cylinders that were used to record into vinyls that they would record. And this also allowed multiple songs to be on a record, which is a vinyl. Recording on a vinyl includes a turntable with a good quality stylus and a cartridge connected to a phono preamplifier to boost the low level signals from the turntable. The audio is then recorded and scratched onto the vinyl. And then when the vinyl playback is going, it just needs to scratch from the stylus to replay the sounds, and also transmitting the vibrations from the sounds to the speakers that's connected to like the record player. That is also needed when you have a vinyl.
Hard to write the next line. Oh, I want the truth to be said. I know this.
While vinyls was popular, 8 years before vinyls was actually magnetic tape to capture analog signal and record audio, which also gave the artist the ability to play back the audio and edit the audio by cutting and like using the magnetic tape. Which comes the digital era and the use of magnetic recording on film, which is known to the public as cassette tapes. Cassette tapes use a fair coating of ferrous oxide powder. This oxide means that if you expose it to a magnetic field, it will be permanently magnetically stored within the tape. This also allows playback and also allows you to clear the tape and record new things, which is what really stuck out to tape, electromagnetic tape in this electric era with audio. During the electronic days, this also led for the entertainment industry to use the electromagnetic signals for their own benefit, which in this case, they were using microphones. A microphone is a transductor that converts acoustic sound waves into electrical signals. There is a diagram that's built and mounted into the microphone's housing, which allows it to respond in the change of airways and the air pressure caused by sound waves. When sound waves reach the microphone, they cause the diagram to vibrate. These vibrations result in a displacement of the diagram, creating corresponding changes in the air pressure, which also records and transmits the sound waves. Microphones also had a preamplifier, which acts as a sort of like an auto tune, how it preamps the weaker and like the quiet sounds that need to be amplified automatically right then and there so the audience can hear it. And these are transmitted through stereo speakers too.
Shooting drill. I never heard of this. You know what this is? They have drills that they make kids do where they practice what to do.
Now this goes into the modern tools and electric era. By the 1990s and the 2000s, software-based instruments became way more popular and offered a wide range of sounds and processing capabilities. This is also such as programs such as Pro Tools or any software that uses audio recordings, and you're allowed to edit them and do whatever you want to them so that you can give it the best of the ability and edit them. Analog synthesizers were also widely used to create electronic music. Digital synthesizers followed, allowing more precise and control to the music, which also allowed it to be put into workstations such as Pro Tools, Logic Pro, and Cubase. And lastly, one thing that is also really important to audio is how we actually hear the audio. A popular thing that is used for audio is stereo speakers. Stereo speakers are designed to reproduce audio with a sense of spatial separation and directionality, creating a more immersive and listening experience. The term stereo refers to two separate channels, typically a left and a right channel, that convey different audio signals. However, both of the signals still work together to enhance the listening experience. The audio source is first mixed with using the Pro Tools or any of the programs I was talking about earlier that edits audio. And that way, once it's mixed by engineers, these signals are intended to be heard in a way that stimulates the natural spatial characteristics of the sound. And lastly, one thing that is also really important to audio is how we actually hear the audio. A popular thing that is used for audio is stereo speakers. Stereo speakers are designed to reproduce audio with a sense of spatial separation and directionality, creating a more immersive and listening experience. The term stereo refers to two separate channels, typically a left and a right channel, that convey different audio signals. However, both of the signals still work together to enhance the listening experience. The stereo audio signal is divided into two separate channels, the left channel and the right channel. Each channel contains a unique information containing overall stereo image. The audio source is first mixed with using the Pro Tools or any of the programs I was talking about earlier that edits audio. And that way, once it's mixed by engineers, these signals are intended to be heard in a way that stimulates the natural spatial characteristics of the sound. I also think that the stereo, what feeling that it gives, is a way more live and a way more interacting experience shown in this clip. The stereo audio signal is divided into two separate channels, the left channel and the right channel. Each channel contains a unique information containing overall stereo image. I also think that the stereo, what feeling that it gives is a way more live and a way more interacting experience shown in this clip.
We're together, brighter than a lucky penny when you're near.